Mighty Mississippi at sunset. This is a little eddy pool here that's still water. The main body of the river, you can see it out there where the snag is with the ripples. It seems quite tame, and it's amazingly quiet after all the day trippers, all of the fishermen and recreational boaters go back home. The barges are gone. It's amazingly how it reverts back to its natural quietness. Just a mighty river flowing to the sea. From the bank of the river up to the median level of the campground, it's not that far. Looks like it may be 7 or 8 feet, if that much. Wonder how many floods they've had. We had a storm last night. This poor tent collapsed. Alright, I'm going across another bridge, and this one is covered. A covered bridge. What's up with this? They must be either repairing it or painting it. We had a stormy night last night. Wow. Look at this. These guys must be painting it. Took a lot of tarp to cover this thing. Back in Illinois, the land of Lincoln. Gonna go down the Illinois side for a while. I'm following the river road. They have one on each side. Alright, this is the river road. Scenic route, supposedly. Not much traffic, thank goodness. Look how close these poles are together. I don't know why they're that way. Nice patterns of clouds. My kind of road, there's no traffic. You wonder what this place looked like 100 years ago. You see all these big old barns, hay and livestock barns that are no longer being used. You see fancy irrigation equipment like this, and you hardly see anybody. You hardly see anybody working. They're working, but they're working with tractors and equipment, large equipment. So everything now is getting to be large scale. Huge fields of corn, soybeans, hybrid crops. It's a totally different world. So the family farming operations will probably have just gotten larger and larger when people retire, or there's an old house here, it looks like it's empty. So they consolidate the farms and make it a bigger operation. So modern day farming used to be, well, farming 100 years ago was labor intense, and now it's capital intense. You got to have a lot of money to invest in equipment to go for large scale operations. This is a neat looking old house. There's pigeons in these cages up on the carport roof. This church has a funny steeple. Squat and then steep, and this little place would be New Boston Community. It used to have a bank. Now it's empty. Look at this big old building here. Poffenbarger 1900. It's good to say I guess you could say that New Boston is no longer new, and it's not anything rivaling the real Boston. A huge grain facility here, topped with crows on the river. Road ends at the Mississippi. Look at these tree houses. Got a playground park right here. The River Rats Bar and Grill. Dock, drink, and dine. They have a museum here, but it's not open. We had a terrible storm last night over in Iowa. This is just across the river. And look, I've seen lots of trees blown down, so they must have had some pretty strong winds here too. And people have locust trees in their yards. And locust trees must be fairly, wow, look at that, out in the woods here. Locust trees are kind of brittle. So you see a lot of them broken off, limbs broken off, or even trees blown over. Now I'm headed towards Keithsburg on the river road. This route is called the Great River Road, the Illinois side. What I like about it is there's no traffic. I'm driving at 45 miles an hour, very leisurely. It's nice, just enjoying that scenery. There's a grove of locust trees. Seem to have done okay from the storm last night. Just a few small limbs broke off. Oops, there's a couple of big ones there. At least they didn't fall on the road. The Port Louisa Wildlife Refuge. And this would be Keithsburg, where the pavement ends. These places always have several bars. It's the Mississippi River, and it's an old building that's now bar, pure brewed from God's country, old style beer. Here's another old building that looked like it was either a bar or a cafe. And here's a pile of rubble. It used to be a brick building, it looks like. In its heyday, it had some pretty neat old buildings. I bet you this was a bank building. New Beginnings, the Dollar Zone. Knocked down and just left laying there. I bet you this was the old school building here. Riverside Cafe, home cooked meal. This is the Veterans Memorial Park. And look at this right here. Have you ever seen a laundromat in such a fancy building as this? It looks like it's this is the old City Hall building, and it's now a laundromat. There's a nice old house in need of a high spray washing bath. Keithsburg's just a little riverport city, town, I guess it would be. Even though at one time it looked like it may have been pretty prosperous. It has fallen on hard times, and limbs have fallen from a hard storm last night. This is the Big River State Forest. Pretty nice. Probably got a campground here and boat ramp and all kinds of good stuff. This area received a lot of damage too. Look at this. There was a power line down, just down the road, which is, here's the crews working on it now, looks like. Look at that. Oh, these are guys, look at that. That had to be a tornado or something. Kukwana? Oquanka. That's got to be an Indian name. Illinois. And look at that. There was some damage on that roof. Wow, this town got beat up pretty bad last night. Look at that. Look at this. Holy mackerel. Wow. Look at this. Wow. Tree fell down on the line. Well, they certainly got worse winds than we did on the other side of the river in Iowa. Look at these trees right here, right on the edge of the road. This would be Gladstone. Now I'm following the train. Where's the train going? We shall see. It's the big grains bins. Corn, corn, everywhere. Corn. There must be a bridge. Pink. A pink bar? I've never seen one before. This is Dallas City. This would be Dallas City. Seems to be straddling two counties.